Hello, thank you so much for coming back and watching this week's Monday Must Have. It is on the e.l.f. Full Coverage Camo Concealer. So if you'd like to see me trying this concealer out a different couple of ways and my final thoughts on this $5 16-hour concealer, then please keep on watching. Also make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, bookmark my page. I upload a video every single day of the week, plus I also do live streams every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love for you to be able to come on back and watch whenever you would like. So unless you've been living underneath a rock, you know that e.l.f. did recently drop a new full coverage concealer. It's $5, supposed to last 18 hours. It's a matte finish. A lot of people compare it to the Tarte whatever, I don't know, because I've never used, it's the one with the big doe foot, okay? Don't judge me, okay? Anyway, so I did pick up two shades. Today I'm going to be trying out the darker shade. This is in Light Sand. You need to be really, really careful because online the shades look different, okay? So this is Light Sand. When I think of Light Sand, I think of almost like a medium shade. Well, this is very, very light. Okay, so shades online are not true to what they look like online. Just let you know that. Okay, e.l.f. is a cruelty-free vegan brand, and very, very affordable and very accessible via their website, or a lot of different drugstores do carry e.l.f. So I'm going to go ahead and try this concealer out for you two different ways. So I'm going to do it underneath foundation, and then on the other side I'm going to do it over foundation. I'm also going to try just using my fingers to blend and a brush. So that way you kind of see the full gambit of what this concealer can do. Okay, so Tarte Shape Tape, there we go. Okay, so this is the container. Okay, so this is the little doe foot applicator. It's very, very large. Okay, so you do get 0.203 fluid ounces or 6 milliliters of product. Okay, so on this side I'm going to do it underneath foundation. And guys, another thing is a little bit of this goes a very, very long way, so you don't need to pile it on like you see a lot of beauty YouTubers do. I mean, look at that. Okay, so you don't need much. It does dry down quickly, so you do need to work quick, in my opinion. But as you guys can see, I did like 4 small dots, and this stuff just blends and blends and blends. And it does dry down matte as well. Look how bad that pore looks. Okay, so it does have really good coverage, actually. I mean, you guys can see the difference. I mean, it's Saturday, I slept in a little bit. You can see how bad and dark those under eye circles are on this side, and it really did help. But I don't know if you can tell, like, it's already like dried down, and it does kind of dry down to almost like a powdery finish. Okay, so blend it out with the fingers. Blend it out pretty well, actually. So now I'm just going to go in with foundation, and I'm just using the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation, and we're just going to get this put on. Let's do it. Okay, foundation's on, and as you can see, still that concealer, that camo concealer, didn't really move from underneath the eye. Sometimes when you blend products on top of other products, it can cause patchiness and it can cause stuff to lift. Once this concealer kind of sets down, it's pretty set. So as you guys can see, here is the eye with no concealer underneath it. Here's the one with the concealer. I think it looks really, really nice. And I think it blended out beautifully on top of that concealer. So, okay. So now, on the other side, I'm going to be applying the concealer on top of the foundation with the brush. Okay, so did the same amount, 4 dots. Let's get this blended. think I need just a little bit more. I don't think I did as big as dots. There we go. Okay, so here it is on top of the foundation. Definitely think I got better coverage underneath the foundation, and putting the foundation on top of the concealer kind of helped to color correct it because it is very light. And I also think it doesn't look as dry and cakey on the side underneath the foundation. But it did blend out faster, I think, with the brush. At first, when you're using the brush, it does seem like it's getting kind of patchy or streaky, but it does blend out beautifully with the brush as well as the fingers. And I'm not the type of person that likes to conceal before foundation, but I think personally for myself, with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I think for me, I will be using this underneath foundation. I just think it looks better. It doesn't look as cakey, it doesn't look as dry, and I do think I got better coverage. But let's go ahead and build it up. And let's go ahead and use the fingers to blend out this build-up one. So you see what I mean? It's like when you use your fingers, it just seems to kind of spread a little bit more. So, okay, so I think I'm just gonna get that spread out, and then I'm gonna go in with my brush to finish blending. Yeah, I think that blended out really, really nicely, actually. Okay, so I think we got pretty good full coverage underneath the eyes, especially taking into account that this concealer is too light even for me, and I'm a very, very pale person. But I'm getting in creepy close. Okay, so I think the under eyes look pretty good actually, and this was without setting them. I've been sitting here talking to you for a little while. But so far there's really minimal creasing. So yeah, I think it does look pretty good. You just got to be a little cautious with this concealer. You have to be going in a little bit more lightly. You can't use as much concealer as you're used to using with maybe other brands. You don't want to use too much of this. I think this would work absolutely beautifully as like cream contoured highlighting if you're into that. But it is a really, really nice concealer for $5. You just need to be careful with the shade range. Maybe go in store to find your right shade, because it is kind of deceiving picture-wise and online and everything. But I do think it's a really, really nice concealer. I would do recommend, and that's coming from someone that has combo skin, you don't need to set this concealer too much. I personally would not bake with this concealer just because it does dry down to a matte finish. It's a matte concealer. So if you have very dry under eyes, it's going to look horrible. I have baked with this because, guys, I've been trying this out for good 2 or 3 weeks, and it took me a little while to figure out how to work with it because it is kind of a touchy concealer. Don't go in with too much. Don't over powder it. Use your fingers or a brush. I have tried it with a sponge. It's almost like this formula doesn't like the dampness of a sponge. It kind of lifts it up and like it gets really patchy looking. So personally, I don't like using this with a sponge. I'm not even a sponge gal anyway very much, but I do prefer it with a brush or my fingers. But it does have really good coverage. It's very affordable. It's cruelty-free and vegan. and it's a nice concealer. You just gotta play with it a little bit. You gotta figure out how it's gonna work for you. But yeah. So the e.l.f. Camo 16-Hour Concealer, it is a Monday must-have. You just gotta kind of work with it, test it out, see how you like to use it, because it is a really, really nice concealer. Good coverage, and it does look beautiful. It does look beautiful underneath the eyes. If I had a correct shade, I would definitely think this would work well for spot concealing and that kind of stuff. But hey, I hoped you enjoyed this week's Monday must-have. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Also make sure that you share this video. I know everyone and their dog and their brother and their cousin have probably seen or heard about the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, but just in case, you know, you want to share mine, that's cool too. You know, also make sure that you leave a comment down below. Have you tried the e.l.f. Camo Concealer? What did you think of it? I just want to give a shout out to Lucy Lynn, very, very nice follower of mine. She suggested on how I should try using it because I was having a hard time with this concealer. I really was. So shout out to Lucy. Thank you so much for giving me your tips and tricks. I do appreciate it. Also, you're always welcome to, you know, follow me on my other social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all at Budget Glam Babe. I will go ahead and link the products I use down below. It will be an Amazon affiliate link, but it's there if you would like to use it. But don't go anywhere. There should be another video starting here in about 15 seconds. I don't know. Or you can always click on one of the videos that's going to pop up around me here, and you can watch that. So I will see you here in a few seconds.